Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the second semi-final on the men's side of the draw for the Singapore Sevens. And the other side, the finalist is confirmed. It is Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, the side ranked 9th in the overall standings, but this matchup here between Fiji and Argentina is 1 versus 2. Argentina, they have already secured their spot as champions, but have they got one more leg in them to get themselves another goal? Looking through the starting lineups for the Argentines, it is Santiago Mari, Luciano Gonzalez, Matteo Graziano, Jermaine Schultz, Marcos Moneta, Jacqueline Palandini, and Matthias Azutsuk. For the Fijians, Josefa Talatholo, Georgie Nasova, Seville Mothanothangi, George Balsi, Felipe Saturanga, Tero Wailangi, and also Sakiusu Sanila. But it is going to be Argentina kicking this one off from left to right, and we are underway for yet again another semi-final. Not able to claim that one cleanly were Fiji, so it bounces onto the side of the Argentines. Little knock on and a tackle off the ball on one of the Fijian players, but the Pumas have got themselves possession. We have got there, Argentina beat us 35-7 earlier. Yeah, we are cooked, says Chris. So yeah, that was last week in Hong Kong. But Singapore could be completely different. Fiji in their first two contests have looked outstanding, scoring 74 points across them. The Pumas earlier on lost their winning streak of 16, but they're looking to build another one. Luciano Gonzalez goes off to the right-hand side to Palandini. Fiji doing a lot more of the defending for now. Marcos Moneta goes through and scores. There's a reason he's got the nickname Money, and he's just put it on the board for the Argentines in the semi-final. His 22nd of the Sevens circuit, and he is slowly catching up to Georgie Nasova, who has the most out of any men's player for this season. Moneta just gets rid of George Balsi. Nasova was drifting wider to be able to cover Graziano, and Moneta does it again. Early lead for the Argentines, and that kick has gone over to making the score 7-0 in favour of the Argentines. Now, it's quite an interesting final dynamic because the Kenyans have made it, and they played Fiji in the Singapore Sevens final way back in 2016. They were able to win that final. Perhaps that could be on the cards again. Tera Wailangi goes through, ball on the inside. Fiji strike back pretty much instantly. That is the danger of a Fijian team, and it is none other than Felipe Saturanga who managed to get himself the try. And he must go, says a Blues Nate. And come on, Fiji, win this and win it all, says Dylan. The kick has gone over from Felipe Saturanga. And just like that, we've gone from 7-0 to 7-all in a matter of 15 seconds. Just really well-timed pass on the inside. Back to Saturanga. Whoever wins this will win the final, says Novmum. Bit harsh against Kenya, isn't it? They've just made it to a final for the first time in ages. Hopefully, I mean, it would be an awesome underdog story if they were able to go all the way. Now going to be kicked off high. And nicely claimed by Graziano. Does go backwards. In fact, no referee says there was a little knock on there, which gives Fiji the scrum about 30 metres out from the line. I think Argentina will play Kenya. What do you think? Just tuned in. You are great. Says Kevin, thank you very much for being here, Kevin, again. But I do think that the thing is, the Pumas have been so strong for so many legs, but Fiji, this leg in particular, have come out brilliantly. 2 massive wins, one over the US and also one over the New Zealanders. Like, they beat New Zealand by one of the biggest margins that they ever have. So that would make you think that they're going to come into this game with a lot of momentum and at least a lot of form. But Argentina, like, you can never rule them out. There is a reason they are the champions of this year. This is Fiji's tournament, says Nazil. Yeah, Fiji would absolutely love to be able to get themselves a gold just before heading into the champions matches taking place early next month. Fiji in position at the moment. 40 metres out from the line. George Balsi pops it on the inside off to Georgie Nasova. Now Sanila tries the wide cut-out pass. Bit of a risky one. It's gone backwards. Popped up by Argentina, who have got the ball back. Risky pass does not lead to reward. That is a huge hit on the Pumas. Now, Jermaine Schultz stepping from Santiago Mari, wrestled down Palandini, pick and go, going off to the left. Chance here for Luciano Gonzalez, and he will get himself another as well. And let's go Fiji, says Kalahara, and Fiji best team in the world. In this format, says Kevin. Luciano Gonzalez, he's moved up to 17 tries in total for him. And just a really risky pass from the youngster Sakiusa Sanila made it extremely difficult for, I believe it would have been Saturanga in the midfield. Tried to shovel it on, but he had to do it from a lying down position, and Argentina pounced on the ball just like a Puma and did manage to get the try. That kick has hit the post and bounced away to the side, so unsuccessful conversion does mean at the moment the score 12 points to 7 with 2 minutes remaining in this first half. And like I said, for a spot in the final up against Kenya, over the goalpost there, says Blues, nice step from Seville Mothanofangi, flicks it off beautifully to Sanila, and again, the Fijians will score pretty much straight away. Argentina need a way of stopping that, because if they can score and then stop Fiji in the next 30 seconds, perhaps they'll be able to win. But until then, Fiji just keep on going. That's a great step from Seville Mothanofangi, and a beautiful just flick one-handed pass on the outside. And then manages to score it there, Sanila. Marcos Manera, he did get close to him, to be fair, but he still managed to finish it. Kick to come from the sidelines, got the distance, doesn't have the accuracy, making the score now 12-12 between these two sides. Now, in my preview, ladies and gentlemen, I predicted a score of 19 points to 12. And that was in favour of Fiji. Loose ball. Looks like it might be the halftime score, because Balsi is chasing after this one, picks it up and scores it again. And the try is awarded, or is it? Nick Hogan says yes, the referee. So that will be a quick fire back-to-back moment for the Fijians managing to get their own kickoff. Even though it came off Argentina's hands, they flicked it back. No one was ready for it. George Balsi was right there. And like a boss, puts that ball down over the try line. It helps Fiji that little bit closer towards the final. Now the kick this time has gone over. 30 seconds remaining. Already 19 points to 12. So my full-time prediction might be right at halftime, but I doubt it's going to be right at full-time. There are still plenty more tries out there on the Singapore turf. Knock on there from Talatholo, cleaned up by Luciano Gonzalez. And it's just a get through, a few tackle attempts, moves up to the halfway line, and he's knocked the ball on the ground. May have really hurt his head in the process too, slightly spiked in that tackle attempt. And I love Kenya, says Alex. Well, you're going to love seeing them in the final, that is for sure. He gets driven into the turf by Josefa Talatholo, awkwardly crunching his neck. I think Fiji have this, says Kevin. And Fijian Warriors hunting the Pumas. Now, I should mention we have just passed the halftime break, or at least in terms of the time. The game will continue, though. Fiji have got themselves a scrum. The question is, with a 7-0 or 7-point lead, do you take a risk and keep going, or do you just accept that lead, go into halftime, sitting 19 points to 12 up? I think that Fiji, seeing as they're around the halfway line, they will have one more crack. They'll know that the Pumas are strong. Kicked in behind. Oh, was he taken out? Referee says no. And Argentina now going to look to attack this one from inside of the 22. Tobias Wade wrestled down by Seville Mothanofangi. So Fiji's risk may just about become Argentina's reward if they're able to score here, although they are just on the verge of their own 5-metre line. Raziano going backwards, now starts to run sideways, passes across to Tobias Wade, sold the dummy, leaves the ball. Oh, it's kicked out of the hands, and that will be the penalty against Te Rawailangi. You are not allowed to kick that ball from the back of the breakdown. And Argentina now, they have another chance. This is going to be fatiguing for these two sides as well. We've got to remember, the longer that this one goes on, the more tired they will get, the more risks come into the play for the injury side of things, and also more likely you are to have another try against you. Are they all learnt from Fiji how to play rugby sevens? Says Ron. In array, my money will be on Fiji, no question. Says Kevin. Hope you are doing well, Chad, as well. I do see you in the chat. Now Palandini ready to throw this one in, sitting about 30 metres out from their own line here, Argentina. But like I said, very long first half, almost Feels like back to those days of the 10-minute finals. Matthias Azatsuk looping around, all injury. I mentioned about it. The longer they go, the more chance there is. Marcos Maneta chasing after this one. Grubbers it forward. He's dropped it. Marcos Moneta, a player who is normally so sure-handed. They want to check this, though, to see whether or not he has got a hand on it first. Because if he has, it will be a knock-on. If he has missed it with his hand, though, it's just a fingertip. Does touch, which means it will be no try. So it is knocked on 2 minutes after the regular whistle would have blown on McKinnon. But on loan to Buenos Aires, boys, says Kevin, and that is going to be a half-time in this contest, sitting 19 points to 12. The Fijians in the lead, but Argentina still well and truly in this contest. I also have a little bit of a concern in regards of that injury. I think it was Saturanga, but I could be wrong. Wasn't that tackle without the ball? To me, it looked like just two men going for position. And they did have a look at it on the TMO and decided that it was all good. And this game is insane, says Chris. Yeah, a hugely fast-paced contest between these two sides. It is always going to be that way when they play off. But at the moment, we are just waiting to see who will win this contest and who will face the Kenyans in the final. And what a smashing first half performance from both teams. And Go Fiji Go, says Naidu. I think it's going to be mutually agreed. Whoever wins this definitely deserves to be in the final. The other side, probably pretty unlucky, but the fact that this is a semi-final rather than the final is just absolutely massive. No, they did it. They only checked the knock-on. Says Kiwi Rob. Do you have any positivity in your life, Kiwi Rob, or do you always look at negatives? Out of curiosity. I don't think we've ever seen you say one good thing about any game we've watched. And don't cry for Argentina, it's over, says Kevin. And Fiji player tackle without the ball. I think ref is blind. Says in there. And we have got their Fiji and they're from Favio in there as well. And Go Fiji says Anoi. And Singapore says Blues Nate there as well. Looking through at the benches for these two sides while we have got the halftime break. Vakadranu, man who managed to score himself a try late in the last contest. They've also got Vuiviwa Nadovalo, who is a tremendous athlete. Has pure pace later on in a contest. Fraha and also Elizalde coming off the bench for the Argentines later on. But now Fiji, they'll be kicking off this one from the left to the right to get us back underway for yet again another entertaining half of sevens. And come on, Argentina, says Rex. Maybe Rob is a Highlands fan. He is a Blues fan, we have learnt, which probably makes sense of why he hasn't been happy lately. That it's not going to go the 10 metres for the Fijians, which now means Argentina are able to take the quick tap on the halfway line, going back across to the right-hand side. Tobias Wade going right. Now sitting 35 metres out from the line. Palandini going back across to the left-hand side. Jermaine Schultz. It's going to be lined up by Josefa Talatoro, but decided he didn't want to run at the biggest player on the field for the Fijians. Big shot from Georgie Nasova, and it pops back onto the side of the Fijians. Now, Sevo Mothanafangi, another offload to George Balsi, who's already got himself a try in this contest. Another offload on the outside of Vakadranu, inside ball to Sevo Mothanafangi, and the offloading game of Fiji has proven too strong, and they will get themselves another try now, which gives them quite a hefty lead at this stage of the match. Still 6 minutes remaining. Of course, anything can happen, but with this kick more than likely going over, that is a pretty massive one. Georgie Nasoa with a huge hit coming in on Santiago Mari. And we have got another try for Fiji, says Matthew, and Vamos Viti Ramos. Or Vamos says Atamani. And Fiji says Lancy. And there as well. And we have got that come on Fiji, says Kalahara. Now that kick has gone over from Fiji. 26 points to 12. Right, time is off here. Sounds like a sub is about to be made. I wasn't expecting this at all, says Krish. And just one more try, says Kalahara. I mean, Fiji, though, they have continued what they were able to do throughout their first two games. We've got to remember they scored about 74 points, I believe it was, from their first two matches. So they know how to score in Singapore. They've done it multiple times. And at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be a rematch of 2016 between Kenya and Fiji. Now, looks like another change has been made for Argentina. Georgina Sova now. An unbelievable Fiji keeping their heads, says Ruth. Only 5.5 minutes remaining. That is more than enough time to score 2 tries, though, ladies and gents. In the first half, we saw Fiji score 2 tries in 1 minute. Going off to the right-hand side, how many more tournaments left in the series? So this one is the last, I guess you could call it the official, kind of tournament league. And then we've got the finals next week. Or no, sorry, next month. Early next month is when that one's going to be taking place. And then that's kind of like the champions competition, how the top 8 all play each other. And then alongside that, that's where we see the relegation and promotion situation happening. You're by far one of the best rugby broadcasters out there. Thank you, says Imagination Freaks. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated for your support. And we've got plenty more coming in the near future, including, of course, the final between these two sides. Well, between one of these two sides. The only team that can consistently beat Fiji is Fiji themselves. This is a great run from Argentina, and they will get in. I think it is Elizalde, a man who made his way off the bench only recently and already having an instant impact. But this is the semi-final for the Cup, says Tony. And so this is semi-final for Singapore Sevens. The big Cup champion side of thing is happening next competition. And in terms of the overall standings, Argentina already have enough points that they've been able to win, if that makes sense. Is this the final? This is the semi-final. Whoever wins this game, they go on to face Kenya in that final. Another missed kick from Argentina, so they are still going to need another 2 converted tries, or at least 2 tries in general, to get back into this match. This is supposed to be the final, not the semi, says Krish. It's just, unfortunately, the way that it has worked out, and that is because of the 3 teams in each group, only top side going through to the semi-quarterfinals. We could have seen maybe it shape up a bit differently. Argentina had 4 points while Britain had 3 points. Although Great Britain actually also had 4 points. But because of the head-to-head result, what an offload that is from Fiji. The over-the-shoulder offload. And it's another try between the sticks. And they will score it again here. And that is going to be Tani Vanua-Kula who does score it. But yeah, both teams had 4 points. But because Argentina won the head-to-head, that overtakes the points differential in terms of importance. So that's why Argentina are through to the semis rather than GB. And their Pumas ain't giving up yet, says the Blues Nate. But yeah, that is a fantastic offload. He didn't even see that man there. He just waited for the call from his Fijian teammate. And Tani Vanua-Kula, right place, right time, kisses the ball on the way in. And does score the try that will book Fiji surely a spot through to the final. Definitely because that kick has also gone over. So now leading by 16. Argentina would need 3 tries in 3 minutes. Fiji slapping the ball back, but it lands on the side of Los Pumas. Oh, good tackle made around the halfway line on the Argentine forward, Azutsuk. Now back across to the right-hand side. Oh, Fraha, that ball has slipped through his hands, gone out to Graziano, but they've lost all momentum now for this Argentine attack. Tobias Wade going backwards, passes a short pass to Graziano again. Now that looked close to forward for Argentina. I think the crowd liked that one, or at least wanted it to go back for one. 20 metres out. Argentina still have not given up yet. And if they score now, they are still well and truly in this contest. Now, another run forward from Elizalde. Offloads it up to Tobias Wade. Thought about another offload, and that should be the penalty going the way of the Pumas, but no rolling away in the breakdown. Fiji have another man down with an injury. All Argentina need to do is reach out and score, and they've done just that. And it's going to be Graziano does pop up with the try, and looks like Fiji have got another guy that stayed down. That is now 2 in just this little play. They decided to take it quickly after the Fijian penalty. Fiji going to take the win, my friend, says Rosa. It does look that way, even with that last try from the Pumas. Oh, we only just got that down. Graziano. And that kick has gone over, now making the score 24 points to 33. Now, the situation we find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen, is there is 80 seconds left on the clock. I think it is Tani Vanua-Kula. Now, he actually went down earlier on in the match. At the end of the first half, he has now got his arm kind of picked up like it's in a sling. So that seems like maybe some sort of left arm, elbow, anywhere around there injury. Means more than likely he will not be playing in the final up against the Kenyans. The question is, with 80 seconds left, will the Fijians be playing the Kenyans in that final? Or have Argentina still got 1 or 2 more tries up their sleeve? They kick off short, and look to retain, but it's well claimed by Felipe Saturangu. Drops the ball off the back, and there will be another penalty going the way of Fiji. Now they can start to slow it down. They can put it towards the touchline and just take it slow. What happened to New Zealand? They did lose to Great Britain in their 7th place semi-final, so they will be playing the Irish for 7th place. Or sorry, they lost their 5th place semi-final. Oh, that one's gone right off the side of the boot for Fiji, but they wanted to make sure that it went into touch rather than giving the opposition the opportunity to keep that ball in the field of play. Nick Hogan just having a bit of a chat there with the Argentines, making sure that they're going to bring them to the right line. We've only got 20 minutes until our next match that we are covering, ladies and gentlemen. That will be the contest taking place between the South Africans and Australia. Well claimed by Talatholo, but it slipped through the fingertips. 20 seconds remaining, and Fiji have got the ball. Counter up coming from Argentina. Scoop the ball back. Another penalty goes the way of Los Pumas. They've got 10 seconds left. I don't think there's enough time for them to be able to score twice here, so they might have to consider the 3. Yes, Tobias Wade's going to go for it. If he gets this over, they still have a chance. But he's missed to the side, and that will be the end of the game. Fiji make it through to the final to replicate what happened in 2016, but it's a valiant effort from Los Pumas. They are now 2 losses from 3 in the Singapore Sevens, up against tough opposition all the way through. Fiji, they've looked dominant. This game was a test, and now they've got the Kenyans in the final. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back for that final, for the bronze final match as well, between Spain and Argentina. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy, we are back again next month for more Sevens, plus more rugby union all throughout the year. I will see you all for the next one.